In this video, I'm going to just gush for a few minutes about this camera here, the Leica Q2 Monochrom. I have absolutely loved shooting with this camera. I've owned it for the better part of a year now. And you know, when I first was thinking about buying it, I was kind of agonizing over it between getting this and the regular Q2. And the things that made me want to buy this camera, that ultimately convinced me to do it, I'm going to share with you what they are now, but I'll just quickly say that they have, like, this camera has delivered on all of the things that I thought it would be great at. And so, you know, this is basically a monochrome only version of the Q2 color, which means that it's identical in every single way to the Q2, except that it only shoots in black and white. And the thing that made me want to buy this camera is that, well, one, I was cool with the idea of exclusively shooting in black and white. I think it's a wonderful medium, and I knew that if I put myself against that constraint, it would force me to become a better photographer. It would make me focus on the fundamentals, and that has absolutely been the case. But the thing that made me want to do this with the Q2 in particular is that it has this amazing low light capability that its color brother doesn't have. So this camera lacks a physical piece of equipment called a color filter array, which is how all color cameras turn ambient light into color information. That piece of equipment is physically not here, and that means that more light gets to hit the sensor. And it basically gives me a 1.5, I've heard some people even say 2-stop advantage, almost allowing me to sort of like see in the dark. And that was what I wanted. I wanted to be able to take this thing around and do some street photography at night with no flash, to be able to shoot confidently indoors and to just get some really great images that way. And that's what I went in for, and I would say that's definitely what I've been able to get. On top of that, the files that come out of this camera are tremendous. They have an incredible amount of dynamic range, and the detail that I'm able to pull out of the shadows is awesome. It's really, really great. And so that was the part of, that's what I think this camera's special sauce is that the Q2 color doesn't have. But then it has all the things that the Q2 does have, which I was also really excited about. I was excited about, challenging myself to only shoot photos within the 28mm fixed focal range. I was really excited about the form factor of this camera and being able to have it be so light and not have it be intimidating when I shoot photos of people. It's got this manual focus lens that allows me to do zone focusing, and that has kind of opened this door to street photography, but I can do it at hours and at ISO levels that, the color version can't do. I would even say that up to 50,000 ISO, it does have noise, but it's a different kind of noise. It's not like chroma noise, which is color related. It has this sort of like film grainy look. So even the high ISO, high noise images look pretty good. I mean, there've been very few, even at that range, that I've ever felt I couldn't use. I just have loved, how tactile it is, how stealthy it is. It doesn't have any yellow. It doesn't have any color on the markings. It doesn't have the yellow, focal length number that all Leicas have. It's a gray instead. It doesn't have the red dot, so it's this kind of stealthy, badass little camera that, is just a lot of fun to shoot with. And so I think it's just tremendous. If you're considering, getting a Q2 monochrome, consider my experience a proof point that it is definitely worth getting if you have any interest in black and white. I would say if you have the budget, it's a pretty low risk thing because especially if you buy a used one where the depreciation's already been handled, Leicas retain their value very, very well. And so you could likely sell it for not much less than what you paid for it. And, your total cost of ownership is fairly low. And during the time that you have it, you'll be capable of taking some amazing photos that, you know, very few cameras are capable of, and I think you likely would find that it's a complete joy to do so the whole time. So that's it for this video. Thank you for visiting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.